Let's be honest, part 1 looked rough on purpose, paint peeling off in our hands, back to bare metal, primer on properly, and today you get the bit everybody actually wants to see. Colour, clear coat and a finish that won't let go again. If you missed part 1, the short version is stone chips turned into a full adhesion failure on this VW Caddy bonnet. We didn't just touch it in, we stripped back everything that wasn't sticking, which was all of it, and rebuilt it properly. By the end of this video you'll see how we base coat, how we spray the clear, and how it looks as a finished product, from primer grey to rogue performance ready. So let's get into it and finish this bonnet properly. The secret to the best job you can do when you're painting, especially a bonnet which is facing upright so easily collects any dirt or dust nibs in the air, is you need to do a really good panel wipe down of the whole bonnet. Once you've finished panel wiping it, you then need to tack rag it, just to remove any residue of anything. Make sure you get all the edges and have a very clean substrate to start working with. And then the final step is the Ionstar anti-static gun. You need to treat the bonnet, remove any static, and that will help keep you having the cleanest job possible when you're doing your actual paint work. You should also use your anti-static gun to treat any of the plastic around the area you're painting as well. Keep the static down on that, and that'll also help you to get a cleaner job. To speed up the job while we're laying the base in the booth, we use the Thermodry which is the heated airline system from Welcome, and we use their fan jet dryer. So we literally blow in 50 degree, or we can put it up to 70 degrees, but I leave it at 50 degrees. And we're blowing 50 degree air directly over the base coat, and it dries it so much quicker with it being water based paint than just leaving it to dry with the booth airflow. One advantage with Welcome is you can personalise the tools that you buy from them. The fan jet dryers, paint guns, you can have them all customised, obviously at a cost, but it's nice that we're able to do that. When you're painting any panel, what's super important is that you get good coverage over the edges. I see so many painters that paint a job and it looks a lovely job, and then you look at the edges and you can see the primer through the edges because they just haven't got any base coat material on the edges. So what you see me here now is going round the edges to make sure that we have proper coverage on all the edges so nothing is left showing primer through once you've clear coated. Then once the edges are done, it's basically a second wet coat across the whole bonnet, keeping your strokes 50% overlap and making sure that you don't end up with any stripy base coat. So anybody painting these days will know that solvent paint's been outlawed and you have to use a water-based base coat to be legally compliant, which we're doing, and you will need some kind of dryer to speed your jobs up, otherwise you spend a lot of your time hanging around and waiting for the base coat to dry. It does take a lot longer than the solvent base coat to dry, but the Welcome dryer is by far one of the best I've used. It's very easy to hold, it spreads the air out in a flat fan shape so you can dry a large area of the panel quite quickly, and it's definitely a tool that I could recommend. So on to the final coat of base. Instead of going front to back on the bonnet, I'm going to go left to right. That just helps with orientation. Make sure you've got your metallics laid nicely. Just cross coat, it's the best way to do it. I'll always finish the final coat on the bonnet going left to right, and all the other coats on it I will go front to back. It just ensures that you don't get any patchy finishes and everything looks exactly as it should. So before we clear it, there's one final coat which is classed as an orientation coat, just to make sure that all your metallics are laid exactly as they should. It's from a little bit further away and a little bit drier than all your build-up coats, and it's just to ensure that once you clear it you do have the perfect finish. So we're just drying off the final orientation coat. You can see it does show quite well on camera that it has a lovely silky finish, there's no patchiness at all, but we do have one final check before we go on with any clear coat, because if you need to rectify anything, this is that time to do it. Once you've put the clear coat on, there's no going back, you have to finish the job and then redo it. So the lights go off and we check with the colour torch, just basically check all the edges and check that the metallic looks as it should, check there's no patchiness, no see-through areas, no primer difference in colours or anything like that, and you just basically making sure that everything is exactly as it needs to be before you put the clear coat on. So as you can see, there's no patchiness, the base coat is laid exactly as it should, it's silky, it's smooth, and if you chucked a rag over it, it would just slide off. If your rag would stick to your base coat, then you've got too much texture on there, and you need everything to be nice and smooth, otherwise the finish won't look right. You can see this looks absolutely stunning, and it's ready for the clear coat to go on. So the clear's mixed and it's ready to go. We've got an 850ml cup, so we've got enough in here for 2 good coats over the bonnet. And the first thing we need to do is work our way around all the edges and make sure that, again, you cover the edges. It's such an easy thing to make sure you do, and I see so many painters that don't actually do it and end up without base and without clear on the edges of panels, and it just lets down what could be a near perfect job, because you never get a perfect job on a repaint. Close, but never perfect. But if you do something like missing an edge, you're just letting yourself down and letting the quality of your work down. So it's imperative that you go and have the attention to detail to make sure that you get all the edges, and you make sure that you finish as the best you can possibly do. The clear coat we're using is Deltron 8131. It's 2 coats, so the first coat you put on is a close coat but a light coat, and then you go on with a slightly heavier second coat to get your film build, and there's a 5-minute flash off time between them. So this coat is a close coat, as you can see on camera. It's got a nice shine to it, but it's a fairly thin coat for the first one, and then obviously with the second coat we'll go on there a little bit heavier, and we'll flood the bonnet and make sure we get a lovely finish. So the first coat of clear has had a 5-minute flash off time, and we're now going to hit it with a second coat that's a slightly heavier, thicker coat, which will give us an absolutely stunning finish across this bonnet. So distance wise, we stay about the same distance as the first coat, but my arm is travelling slightly slower, which allows us to put slightly more lacquer on. The first coat we've put on gives something for the second coat to grip to, so you don't get runs. That's why your first coat's a little bit thinner, it's the grip coat, and then the second coat is the flood coat. And on a bonnet, because of it being facing upright as such, you're not on a panel that's facing straight to the floor, you can go a little bit heavier on the bonnet to make sure you get nice flow out and a nice finish than what you can on, say, the side of a vehicle. So you can see we're going nice and slow here and getting plenty of product on the bonnet, so the finish will be impeccable when it's done. Hopefully there'll not be any dirt nibs in it, but you always get a few. Now the final thing to do once you've put your second coat of clear on and finished the job is to have a good look around it and make sure that you haven't got any dry areas, any runs, anything that you'll need to rectify afterwards. It sometimes happens that when you flood a bonnet, if you leave it a couple of minutes, you will get a little run or a drip off the very front lower edge. And if you're looking round like I am now, you can see you can just fold a bit of masking tape up, and you can actually just touch the masking tape on the bit that's dripping, and you can remove it so that you don't have anything to sort once it's fully dried. All painters get things like that and have to sort things like that, and if any of them tell you they don't, they're lying. Even the best painters in the world at some point will need to sort of run out or sort of dirt nib out or something that isn't there when the job leaves and the customer takes the vehicle. Now on this one, I've been lucky. Is it luck, or have I just been good? Either way, there's no runs on this one, very few dirt nibs, no issues that I need to sort. We all get them. On this occasion, we've had a good job. There'll be videos in the future where you see, and I do have issues, and I'll try and show you how we rectify them along the way. And that is the clear coat finished. The job has come out absolutely stunning. I'm really happy with the way this one has come out. There's a odd little muck nib in a few places that don't really show up on camera as they're so small. So the next stage will be to flatten polish and do the muck nibs, and then here you have the finished product. It looks absolutely stunning. Just after we pulled it outside, it started to rain, so unfortunately these final images have rain on them, but the bonnet looks stunning and the longevity and the adhesion have been sorted. So Fault lies with Team Van Builder, Team Original Painter, or Team Just One of Those Things. After seeing the full rebuild, drop your final comment below and be honest. And if this helps you understand why adhesion matters more than a quick chip fix, like and subscribe, it properly helps the channel. And we have more real workshop, paintwork and performance work coming, so hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. See ya on the next one.